ahead. Welcome, welcome.
Thank you.
Please introduce yourself for our viewers who may not know who you are.
My name is Swaniker. I'm the founder of SAND Technologies. And SAND is an artificial intelligence company that builds AI solutions for governments and companies around the world, but we use African talent to do that.
Excellent. So, but you are famously known for being one of the co-founders of the African Leadership Academy. So tell us about the African Leadership Academy and why you wanted to create that institution.
I started the African Leadership Academy 20 years ago.
Wow.
When I was still a student doing my MBA at Stanford. And the goal at the time was to build the next generation of leaders for Africa. That's still the goal. The academy became quite successful. We trained about 250 young leaders at a time. And they've gone on to become senators of countries, they've founded companies, they've become creatives in different spaces. So they're doing a lot of great work. But I realized that after a decade of sending our graduates from there to universities in the US, that we needed to build our own universities.
Absolutely.
Because the academy is a high school.
Right.
So we created what's called the African Leadership University.
Okay.
And that has a campus in Mauritius and Rwanda.
Right.
And it's 10 times bigger than the academy. And we're training our own leaders on the continent. And they too are founding companies, they're joining government, they're joining organizations.
Yeah.
And then about 6 years ago, we extended that even further. We created what we call ALX.
Okay.
Where we took the leadership training and we fused it with technology training.
Oh, fantastic.
So today we have 35 sites around Africa where we're training over 250,000 software engineers and data scientists.
Wow.
Right? So we are the largest trainer probably in the world of technology talent.
That's
incredible. So, the academy exists, the university exists, ALX exists. I don't run them anymore. I don't run the academy.
Don't run them?
I don't run the university. They're institutions.
Yes.
Because I think as Africans, we're very good at starting projects.
Right.
But we're not good at building institutions that live beyond the founder.
Absolutely.
Right?
Succession
planning, allowing them to live as their own entities.
Yeah.
So I've done that with the academy, done that with the university, we're doing that with ALX. My focus right now is on SAND Technologies.
Right.
Which is
we need to
leveraging
clone
some
you,
of this
Fred.
talent.
We need to clone you so you can teach everybody how to do this.
We've got thousands of them. They've all come, my graduates are all capable of doing this, right? So our goal now is to train 5 million people in the next decade.
Right.
Using this infrastructure that we've created between ALA and ALU and ALX. That's called the AL Group.
Right.
African Leadership Group.
Okay.
That's what the collection is about. And it's an infrastructure that can train talent in Africa at scale.
Right.
World-class human capital that can then go into government, they can go into private sector. Last year we incubated 400 tech startups from this group. This year we've already done 2,000 tech startups, right? Okay. So there's lots of innovation coming out of there. And then, as I mentioned, SAND Technologies is an AI solutions company that builds artificial intelligence solutions for companies and governments around the world using this talent, right? So our AI systems manage the water supply for the City of London, right?
Really?
Yes.
From where? From...
We built the systems. We've got some talent that sits in London, but they're Africans.
Okay.
And then we've got 80% of them sitting in Africa. And we've created
That's
algorithms.
Impressive.
Yeah, and we work with telecoms for US telcos.
Yeah.
For telcos in India, in Indonesia.
Yeah.
We're doing work in health. So, this is very sophisticated artificial intelligence.
So is technology going to save Africa? I mean, you're bullish on tech.
Technology is not going to save Africa, but it's a catalyst that, if used properly, can radically transform Africa. You see, when we look at, it's a massive enabler of jobs, right? Because if you are tech skilled, you can sit in Africa, you can work remotely.
Yes, true.
So we have many of our graduates from our training programs who, the average college graduate in Africa makes $200 a month. They're making sometimes $5,000 a month. Sitting in Africa, working globally, in Australia and the UK and so forth. That's one, it creates jobs. Number two, it can be used to solve our problems in healthcare, education,
immigration or migration, the migration crisis, right?
Yes, because the jobs, if there's jobs there. But I think more importantly, let's solve our problems in health, education, climate change, using technology to do these much faster and much cheaper. Because what we don't want to do is replicate a costly healthcare system in the West.
Absolutely.
We want to reduce the cost of getting health education, all the things that development matters.
Right.
That matters in development.
Right.
But to do it within the existing GDP per capita that we have. So we don't have to wait and aspire and say, I can only develop when I have $50,000 per person GDP per capita. You can be a developed society with your $2,000 per year income by
That's true.
using technology and radical innovation.
Absolutely.
And so that's, for example, we are doing that right now in healthcare in some countries in Africa.
So why are more people thinking like this? I mean, this is such a simple solution to a widespread problem across the continent. We talk about the youth bulge, which is, Africa's youth population is a great asset, but so many of them unemployed and underemployed. But you're providing such a simple solution that can be replicated across the continent.
Yeah, I think that Africa needs to see talent as its greatest resource.
Yeah.
And we need a massive investment in that talent. Because right now we've got a population, we don't have talent.
Right.
And
because they're unskilled.
they're unskilled. So we
Right.
need a massive investment in creating 100 to 200 million highly skilled Africans. And then we need to export it. But talent export doesn't mean brain drain.
Right.
You can
Because
sit in
they
Africa
sit in your
and they can
bedroom or
work
whatever.
remotely.
Yeah.
We can also attract global companies to set up operations in Africa.
Absolutely.
And then for some jobs, then they can go. But then
Yeah.
let's rather export skilled people than unskilled people, because
Absolutely.
skilled people will be welcomed. Right? Right now, the people who are migrating are unskilled. So that's why there's a lot of political issues.
Right, exactly.
But if you export doctors and nurses, but
Yeah.
people say, oh, but what about Africa? Well, brain drain is only a problem when you're introducing talent at low scale.
Right.
So Ghana
exactly.
graduates
Because
600
we have enough population
Yeah.
to supplement, right?
So what you have to do is don't train 600 doctors.
Right.
And then 300 leave to the UK. Train 20,000.
And if 600
If
leave,
600
that's
leave,
okay.
there's the rest
Right.
stay.
Yeah.
You see what I mean, right?
Right.
And then, we have to show that we can leverage this talent in Africa to compete at the highest levels in the world, right? We can predict when a pipe is going to burst in London, right? We're preventing pollution from going to the oceans using our AI systems with
Right.
African talent. We're
That's
using
incredible.
African talent to help American telecommunications companies figure out where to roll out fiber in the USA, right?
This is
So
impressive stuff.
That is the stuff that we do at Sand Technologies.
Yeah.
And that's an example of what African talent can do in fashion, in music. Look at what we do in music.
What it is you do that will make Africa unstoppable.
We're making Africa unstoppable by training an army of 5 million innovators, problem solvers, and leveraging some of that talent to build sophisticated technology in Africa and globally.
Fantastic. Fred, thank you so much.